Flying cars have been the stuff of science fiction for decades, but they might be closer to reality than you think. With advancements in technology and growing interest from major companies, flying cars are no longer just a futuristic dream. Let's talk about why they could be arriving sooner than expected. First, let's look at the progress that's already been made. Several companies are actively developing flying car prototypes, and some have even completed successful test flights. These aren't just experimental concepts, we're talking about fully functional vehicles that can both drive on the road and take to the sky. In fact, some of these models are expected to hit the market within the next few years. One of the biggest reasons flying cars are becoming a reality is the rapid advancement of electric and autonomous vehicle technology. Electric vehicles are key because they allow for lighter, more efficient designs that are necessary for flying. Add in autonomous driving and piloting systems, and you've got vehicles that can manage both road and air travel with minimal input from a human driver. But why would we need flying cars in the first place? Well, for one, they could dramatically reduce traffic congestion in cities. Imagine being able to bypass gridlock by simply flying over it. This would not only save time but also reduce stress for commuters. Flying cars could open up new travel routes, make commuting faster, and even help reduce the strain on public transportation systems. Another factor speeding up the development of flying cars is the rise of urban air mobility, basically, a new way of thinking about how we move around cities. Governments and city planners are starting to explore how flying vehicles could fit into existing infrastructure, creating dedicated air lanes and vertiports where these vehicles could take off and land. Some cities are already planning pilot programs to test these vehicles in real-world environments. Safety is, of course, a major concern. But manufacturers are addressing this by integrating advanced safety features, including collision avoidance systems, redundancy in critical systems, and automated flight controls. In some ways, flying cars might even be safer than traditional cars, given the level of control that AI and automated systems can provide. There's also growing investment in the flying car space. Major companies like Uber, Hyundai, and even startups like Joby Aviation are pouring millions into research and development. As competition heats up, the race to bring flying cars to market is accelerating. And with that much money and talent behind the technology, it's only a matter of time before we see flying cars becoming more common. Of course, there are still hurdles to overcome, like regulatory approval, air traffic management, and the cost of producing these vehicles at scale. But considering the pace of technological innovation and the growing interest from both the private and public,